Due diligence is where property deals are won and lost. Most property investing mistakes don't come from bad luck. They come from skip checks. So in today's video, I'm going to walk through my due diligence checklist and explain how I think through each step before committing to a deal for myself or for my investors. So let's get into it. So the first thing I would do is I check whether the deal fits the strategy that I'm after. Is it a buy to let? Is it a flip? Or is it a development? A deal can look great on paper, but still be wrong if it doesn't fit the intended strategy that you've educated yourself on. And if the strategy isn't clear at the start, the risk is already very, very high. So straight away, before I even make any phone calls or whatever, does this deal fit what my strategy is or my strategy plans are in property? So location and demand is the next step. People before property I've put here. And when I say that, I mean demand must always come first. Yeah? So I look at who wants to live in the area and why. So this includes tenant demand, it includes rental speed, average rents, and historic void periods. And there are ways that you can check all of these things very, very quickly, 2 or 3 different ways. One is speaking to local estate agents. 2 is searching online, like looking at Rightmove, looking to see, how long a property's been on the market for, so on and so forth. And also, you got to think about, when you think about historic void periods, again, I do a lot of networking in the areas that I want to invest in. So I speak to, different developers, landlords, property investors, and you get so much information from these people. It gives you a better picture. So that's really important. I also consider, buyer demand for future resale, because later on I'll talk about exit plan, but you've always got to have that in the back of your mind. So that is something that I always consider as well, buyer demand. I look at employment hubs, transport links, schools, universities, what amenities are in the area, what product values are coming in long term. Like, so many different things that you need to be looking at, and what's going on in the area. Are there cranes in the skies? It's a really good indication that there's a lot of building works happening in the local area. So these are the things I check for when I'm looking at location and demand. So then moving on to comparable evidence, facts over assumptions. Because comparable evidence, it keeps decisions grounded in reality. So what I look for is I check sold prices, current listings, price reductions is a good one to look out for as well. How long things have been on the market. Something's been on the market for a long time. It may not be that, it's a bad deal, or it's not going to ever sell. Maybe it's just priced at the wrong price. And achieved rents as well is something that you've got to make sure you're looking out for and comparing. If the deal only works with optimism and assumptions, it just doesn't work. All the evidence that you find in this little exercise here, this step number 3, it takes away your emotions from decision making, and it's just pure facts. Now on to the fun part, while we're all in this, I hope, is the numbers and making sure that every single cost is accounted for. And this is where most deals succeed or fail. I list every upfront cost. I put it all down. So off the top of my head, it'd be purchase price, stamp duty, legal fees, surveys, your broker fees, your refurbishment fees, your furniture, compliance, then all ongoing costs as well. So your mortgage, your payments, your insurance, your management, payments, your maintenance, I account for void and my tax as well. Yeah. And then my net cash flow is then calculated after all of those costs. And then how I work out my return on investment, once working that all out, is my annual profit, so my net profit divided by the cash that I've put in, yeah, and then times that by 100, and that will give you my return on my investment. So I've run through them numbers. I've run through this step pretty quickly because it's something that I do all of the time. But if you wanted to really take that all in, pause the video, rewind it, write it down, jot it down. I've done videos before on how to work out return on investment anyway, and how to put all costings together. But you really, really got to make sure that you don't miss anything at this step. All your money in, all of the fees included, and then work out your monthly cash, your monthly outgoings as well. Everything, and add the voids. Even if you never anticipate to ever have a void, just put voids in just to cover you, give you a little bit of a buffer, and then after that, you work out your annual profit divided by the money that you put in, times it by 100, and that percentage number would be what you're making, what money you're making, what percentage you're making on the money that you've put in. Numbers are very, very important. So legal due diligence uncovers hidden risks. So I review the titles of the property if you can, boundaries, access. I confirm with the sellers service access and restrictions. If it's a leasehold property, I check the lease length, I check the ground rent, I check what the service charges are, and any letting restrictions that building may have. These are things that you really, really need to be checking out. For me, I've kind of steered away from buying leasehold properties now. I have a couple in the portfolio, but my last 3 purchases have been freehold. I just like it. I like more cash flow, but it's not, if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. It doesn't matter if it's freehold or leasehold, Legal issues really add value, but ignoring them could really destroy the deal. So it's something to make sure that we're checking as well, So legal checks are important. So if you get to this point, you're looking good, I would say, because you've run all your due diligence. Really, you've done all your numbers, worked out what strategy is going to be, and everything's looking good. So now it's time to assess the property's condition realistically. And this includes structure, the roof, electrics, plumbing, damp, and EPC rating is something that I've recently added, obviously, with the new compliance coming in and them government stamping down on EPC rating. I've added this into my checklist as well. So these are the things we need to be checking out for. You've got to make sure that when you're estimating your build and refurbishment costs, it's estimated conservatively, yeah, and then add a buffer, because underestimating conditions and issues of the property is one easy way of losing money. And take it from me, I've done it before. I estimated a refurb in my early days of investing. I estimated a refurb would be X, and it turned out to be Y. So you've got to be really, really careful and due diligent with condition and build of the property. So coming to nearer the end of the due diligence checks, you've got to think about exit strategy. Plan the end before you start. It's really, really important. And I didn't really understand this at first, but being in property now for the amount of years I've been in and seeing people come and go in property, having an exit plan at the beginning is so, so important. Every deal must have a clear exit strategy, in my opinion. It might be, if you want to, and when I mean exit strategy, I mean, can you get your money back out? How can you get your money that you put in back out and your profits back out if you need to? So it could be refinance, sell, or long-term hold, yeah? I also plan alternative exits if interest rates rise or rent soften or the market stalls. I account for all of this stuff, you know. So strong exits provide flexibility. Weak exits create pressure. So one easy example to put is, you know, when you get a property, push the value up. So when you're doing your refurb, before you rented it out, push the value up. That could be however it is, adding another room, you know, putting a new heating system in, doing an extension, a drive. Push the value up. So when it is time to sell, you know that the value is a lot greater than what it was when you bought it. You know, really, really got to force the value up on these properties that we're investing in, you know. So final reminder, you know, due diligence reduces risks. I've put, it doesn't eliminate risks, but it reduces it for sure. The best investors aren't the bravest, but the best investors are the most prepared. So if you slow down here, you speed up everywhere else. And again, that's something that one of my teachers taught me on a course that I did. And it's like, if you slow down here, you speed up everywhere else. So when you're looking at your deals and you're looking at about to invest in a property, really take your time to do all of your due diligence and make sure that everything is just in line with what you're trying to achieve. And I believe if there's one thing that's out and it makes you feel like, oh, actually, you know what, my ROI is 8%, not 15%, but everything else is good, I'm going to still go ahead with it. I wouldn't go ahead with it. You know, there's so many property deals out there. There's so many houses and properties for sale, and so many deals out there, and they're constantly being added to the market. You don't have to rush. So, you know, if you slow down here, you speed up everywhere else. So again, really hope you enjoyed today's video. I've been Craig Parker. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.